السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وبعد. The famous saying, look at the cup half full, not half empty perspective is very important because it allows us to share the same experiences but respond differently, or experience the same things. Yet, so one person can lose his job and another person can lose her job, but the two of them absorb, react to that experience in very different ways, such that the first person finds it a reason to cause, a loss of faith, complaining to Allah, and another finds it a means of growth and opportunity or a means of turning back to Allah. So you have the same incident and people react to it very differently. التاسعة, the ninth benefit the author mentions is الفرح بها لأجل فوائدها. A benefit of the trials that we experience is if we're able to take on a positive, optimistic attitude to these challenges, it can be a means of us looking at it as nothing negative, rather something uplifting. So he says after that قال عليه الصلاة والسلام والذي نفسي بيده إن كانوا ليفرحون بالبلاء كما تفرحون بالرخاء. That by Allah, the pious, the people of the past, they would rejoice from their difficulties the way we rejoice because of our success and accomplishments. A person loses a child, a person becomes ill, you see happiness in that person's face, the same happiness you would expect on the face of someone who just graduated or accomplished something great. And the reason being, they were able to look at that challenge as something uplifting. That I lost my child, subhanAllah, inshallah that child will be a farat, will be a scout for me in the hereafter. I lost a parent, inshallah I can make dua for my parents. I lost my job, perhaps this is an opportunity for me to seek out a more healthy source of sustenance. So that attitude makes them look at that positively. Because if we really think about it, it does not matter what our perspective is, that occurrence will not change. If I am unhealthy and I'm sick, I'm going to be sick. My perspective will make little difference on how I am affected by that, how that plays out in my life. But if I have a positive outlook, then it won't be the way somebody who has a negative outlook. So it's important for us to take this advice in that make it a point not to look at these challenges as negative occurrences in our lives, rather take them in, absorb them, understand them as means of uplifting ourselves in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, he says, حَبَّذَا الْمَكْرُهَانِ الْمَوْتُ وَالْفَقْرُ. He says, how amazing and how splendid are two qualities that people generally despise: death and poverty. And it's easy to say when we're in the lap of luxury, but thinking of it from his perspective, if we don't have those comforts and we're only going to complain about it, rather, if we look at it in a positive way, these things are somewhat inevitable for many people. Death is going to eventually come. In our lives, we'll experience the death of other people. We will have to live through the loss of life. We may not go poor, but we may have struggles, we may have trying times financially throughout our lives. So why would we just sit back and complain and become all sad and grieve over it, instead of looking at it as something positive and optimistic so that it becomes easier to cope with? And then he says, a person is able to bear with the challenges if they know what awaits them on the other end. Just like a person who takes medicine, كما يفرح من عظمت أدواؤه بشرب الأدوية, that you have medicine, it's a challenge, but the outcome, it's bitter, it's something that's gross, it's not easy to consume or digest, yet having that allows us to overcome our illnesses, our sicknesses, and through that very bitter experience, we have a positive end. And like that, our challenges may be bitter, they may be trying and difficult, but if we're able to overcome that hump, it makes it easy for us now to enjoy the benefits either in this life or in the hereafter. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to change our perspective with negativity to one of optimism. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us derive more healthy, more spiritually uplifted, and closer to Allah. Jazakumullahu khairan wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.